You're down and trouble. You need some love and care. Nothing is going right. Hey, Deloitte, you close your eyes and think of me. Hey, Nas, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Tara Jordan. Call of my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, Tabitha, to see you again. We're talking about friends tonight. Come on, sing with me, Roxanne. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is and down. Hey, Denise. Hey, Evelyn. You got a friend. Listen to this part. Ain't it good to know that you've got a friend? We're talking about friendship tonight. People can be so cold, yeah. They'll hurt you and desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them. But don't you let them. Let me hit the hook and then we'll close it out. Come on. You just call of my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Tell your friends to join. We're about to jump on this friendship thing. Come on. All 4 seasons. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Hey, Keisha. All you've got to do is call. I know I changed key. I'll be there. Hey, you got a friend. Hey, well, welcome to Relationship Tips with Bishop Robert Joyce. And tonight, we're going to talk about friendships. I'm so happy to have each and every one of you with me on tonight. It's going to be a fun night. Go ahead and invite your friend. Go ahead and invite one of your people you're struggling with. Invite a neighbor, invite an enemy, and make them your friend tonight. Because I'm going to share some truths about friendship that will help you in the discovery process, the connection process, the conflict process, in order to fortify that relationship. Do you realize that some of your friends, you have invested years and money and emotions together, and you're just going to walk away from it? No, that friendship is worth fighting for. All right, so we're going to talk about this tonight. As always, eat the meat and spit out the bones. I do my best, but sometimes my best is not good enough. And so what I want to do is help you enhance the friendships that you have. And in some cases, it might mean walking away from some, and others is walking towards some others. And I'm going to give you some tips that will help you in friendship. Now, friendship does not always necessarily equal to a romantic relationship, but sometimes it does. It can be a foundation to make your relationship a good relationship even better. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is your better and your better is your best. Hello, Alicia. Thanks for joining us tonight. Now, so go ahead, hit that share button, hit that invite button, and tell your friends that man is on there. And for the next 30 minutes, he's going to be talking about friendships, okay? Now, this section of it is all about friendships. And tonight we'll talk about all about friendship. We're going to talk about friendship that matters. We're going to talk about relationship. And hopefully we'll get to maybe finding love. Hey, Mark Lee, how you doing, kinfolk? and hopefully we'll get into finding love. I think that some of the things that I share is like water on some seeds that's already on the inside of you. It will cause them to burst forth and come and cause new life. Hey, Ernest, thanks for joining us. Hey, Sarah, thanks for joining in. I appreciate y'all being with me on tonight. Now, last week we stopped at how to attract true friends, okay? The law of attraction, okay? And so we want to, and I quoted Gandhi, and he said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Be the friend that you want to be. As you give out that, depending on your background, that energy, that anointing, that positive vibe, as it go out, it comes back. Now, there's a guy by the name of Nin. He had the opinion of this. He said, each friend represents a world in us. So there's something inside of you. Now, and a world that is possibly not born until they arrive. And it's only by meeting that person that the new world is born. So there are aspects of you that a friend will pull out, will yank out of you, will stir up inside of you, and it causes you to live in ways that you dare not. Okay, it's like when you ultimately get a marriage or ultimately get a friend, that they will cause you to try things that you never would try. Escargot, zip lining. They'll have ways of inspiring you to the next level. Okay, so friends are very, very important to have. Now, though there are some people are natural loners, okay? That is, other words, it's not everybody like that, but there are some people that are natural loners. But most of humanity depends on the company of true friends, okay? So the rest of us, we need true friends. And people tend to befriend, watch this, they tend to befriend those who have a similar background. So when you begin to develop friends or looking for friends, you're looking for people who have a similar background that you have, okay? They may be similar in personality, or in some case, there's an opposite personality, okay? And sometimes appearance. We look for people who remind us of us. It's like when I go to visit let's just say a church. I'm looking to see if there's anybody in there that look like me. So I want to connect with somebody who is like me. This is what we call a sort of process that resembles the way in which people select prospective mates. So I select friends very similarly to the way I select a mate. Okay, and so those are live attributes that we need to be aware of. What am I looking for? What am I expecting? Okay. Hey, Tamika, how are you doing? Thanks for joining tonight. Hello, Stacy. Thanks for joining in tonight. So watch this. Here's something very interesting here. A critical life skill. Now, I'm big on design and life skills. Design is the way God made you, but life skills is what you developed on your own, okay? So a critical life skill is the ability to establish and maintain strong friendships. See, everybody can't establish and maintain a strong friendship, okay? It takes skill. It's an art. It's that requires you to think about, meditate on that friendship in order to get through the rocky times, okay? Promiscuous people, promiscuous friends as well, they don't have the ability to work through problems, and so therefore they jump up and get somebody else. That's why guys or girls who are promiscuous, they can't work through their issues, so they go get somebody else and they start all over again, okay? They start that process all over again. But those of us who want to have long-term relationships have to learn how to maintain those friendships and those relationships, okay? All right. So now watch this. It takes art and skill to navigate, especially if you're hooked up with somebody who's toxic. Hello, Hatchet. Thanks for joining in with us tonight. There are certain individuals that are toxic, and if you are, if they're a family member, or then it takes a skill to work through that. Okay, you're working with somebody, you like them, but they are toxic, and so it takes a skill to work through that initial toxic interaction. Okay, you have some people that just say nasty things. They basically function out their hurt or function out their environment. They came out of an environment that was very toxic, and so it became the norm of saying something nasty back or dog eat dog. Some of us have come out of environments that we used to do a lot of jiving. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Well, we would roast, or we'd say something negative, okay? And that was the lifestyle. Okay, hey, what you looking at? Nothing? Big head? Oh, look at them big wide feet you got. We'd say all those kind of negative things because that was the environment. You better get up off me with your dumb self. And so it became a toxic environment. And so in order to survive in that environment, you'd learn that language. Well, if you meet somebody outside of that, then they've got to decide whether or not, boy, it takes a skill to work you through that whole process, okay? And so that's what I'm talking about in terms of toxic individuals who come out of a bad background. That relationship might be one that you want, but it takes a lot of work. It's like crabs, breaking open some crabs without the proper equipment, or them little real skinny. You ever got them real skinny crabs that it take a whole lot of work and you don't get much meat? Okay, you have to ask yourself about toxic relationship, Ruby. How much is it willing to work through? Hello, Tanya. Thanks for joining us tonight. Now, all right, let's look at this next phase. The next phase is I want to say to you that friendship really matters, okay? All right? Now, strong friendships are a critical aspect of most people's emotional well-being, okay? All right. In order for you to have a strong emotional well-being, it's good to have some good, strong relationships and friendships. So it's important to have a good support system. All right. And so it takes work to have friendships that you can count on. The song we open up with, "You Got a Friend," when you're down and out. And you need someone that you can depend on to help you to walk through your difficult time. Someone that you can pour your heart out with, okay? And that won't judge you, all right? They'll know. One writer said, one of the ways you know whether or not you got a friend is that they know all the bad things about you and yet love you anyhow. Kind of like the way God does, okay? Now, the second thing we need to see here is that a strong friendship can booster against loneliness, okay? And sometimes just hearing your voice or just swinging by or just grabbing a cup of coffee can pull you out of the proverbial hole or the proverbial depression that's trying to attack you, okay? All right. So a strong friendship, it decreases anxiety. You know, that's why sometimes as a speaker, as a singer, as a performer, you want to look out in the audience and see someone and you connect eyes with them and they cause the anxiety to leave. All right. It's like I know that my dad's here, or I know that my mom's here, or I know that my pastor's here. I know that everything's going to be all right. So that friend have the ability to cause the anxiety levels to decrease. It also, a good friend improves your physical health, because of the power of touch. The power of connection, okay? You watch most guys in their interaction when they see each other, if they boys, they hug, they high five, and even in sports we see that connection to celebrate our successes and our failures. All those things helps us with our physical well-being, okay? When it comes to establishing a friendship, the quality of time spent together proves more important than the quantity of time. Okay. Hey, Verna, thanks for joining us. And hey, Patricia, appreciate you joining in tonight. Now watch this. So when you have a friend or developing a friendship, having quality time is very important. Okay. I remember one time I was at home all day on a Saturday with my wife, and then all of a sudden I decided, well, I'm finna go. And she said, well, where are you going? I said, I'm finna go. I've been home all day. And she said, you're not with me? I said, I've been at home. What are you talking about? Well, I had a whole bunch of quantity of time, but not much quality time, okay? A whole bunch of quantity time, a lot of time there, but it did not have high quality. So if you're going to develop a friendship with somebody, you must have quality time, okay? Research shows us that sustaining a few close friendships can provide tremendous benefits. Okay. So I've got to have some relationships that are quality, that we see each other, that we invest in each other. Okay. And it has tremendous benefits, when you have those relationships and you're willing to invest the necessary time in the relationship. I, on a personal note, I understand my limitations in terms of the amount of friendships that I can have at one time in terms of investment, and so I will not take on any additional friendships once I got my max, because I don't want to cheat on the friends that I already have. Okay, so again, quality time is very, very important. Now, we're talking about relationships. Now, as you begin to have relationships, last week we talked about the bond of certain relationships. Some relationships, there's just, you see them and that's my friend, that's my buddy, that's my homie, that's my road dog, that's my, my partner. All right. And so one of the things that we found is love is one of the most profound emotions known to human beings. So when we start talking about love, especially when we talk about the Greek use of the term, it has 4 or 5 different meanings for our one word love. It means, of course, agape, storge, eros, family love, all those married love. They talk about all those different types of love. So love is very, very important. All right. And when we start a relationship, it's important to allow that love to grow. All right. It's to feed it, to nourish it, and that it may take its wings and develop into the type of relationship that the two of you will be happy with. Okay. Now, there are many kinds of love, as I said, but most people seek its expression in romantic relationships with a compatible partner. Here we go. Compatible partner. So part of friendships, part of dating, part of getting to know somebody means allowing it to take its natural form. And in some relationships, they are going to be limited, if it's the opposite sex, to the friend zone. But other relationships have a potential of becoming a romantic love. Okay, all right. And so as you're developing this relationship, as it moves toward the romantic love, then you begin to see whether or not you and this other individual have the potential of being compatible. All right. So I have to understand myself and understand my deal breakers, understand areas where I'm allowed to grow, willing to grow, areas where I'm willing to change. OK. Now, for many, when you start talking about romantic relationships, they comprise of meaningful aspects of life. All right. That brings us deep fulfillment, okay? The need for human connection appears innate. I want to connect. But the ability to form healthy, loving relationships is learned. Did you hear that? You have to learn, all right, how to have a healthy, committed, loving relationship. Thank you for joining us, Vicki. Now, if there are any questions, I'm answering questions live tonight. If you have any questions about relationship, I'm willing to answer them tonight as we talk about friendships, as we're talking about relationships, as we're talking about friendships matter, things like that. Okay, so feel free to have a question, and I'll bring you on the air to answer it. Okay, I'll bring you live on the camera so everybody can see who I'm talking to. All right, but if you're shy and afraid, then just type it in, and I'll respond to it. Okay, now. So you can learn. This is why sometimes, not always, but this is why sometimes people who have divorces, and the next time they get in a relationship, some of the stuff they did, they won't do. And this is why sometimes a guy will lose a good girl, and then the next girl he get, I'm not losing her. Or sometimes a girl will lose a good guy, and she learned. And so she changed some of her ways. This is what Jesus said. This is what it said about Jesus, rather, that Jesus learned obedience to the things he suffered. So sometimes in a relationship, a girl, the next person that gets you will be a better person. You'll be a better person for them because of what you learned from the previous relationship or the previous friendship, or one of your girlfriends or guy friends help you respond better. Hello, Tiffany. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Erica, appreciate you being with us tonight. All right. So your friends can help you be better at having romantic relationship. They can be honest with you and say, no, you dogging him out. No, girl, he's a keeper, Oh, no, you need to get rid of him or whatever. Okay. So that transparency will help us in our relationships. Now, a great deal of evidence suggests the ability to form a stable relationship begins in infancy. Okay, moms, see here, you're back at it. Your moms and dads help kids with relationships starting from a child. And the earliest relationship that a kid has is with its caregiver. Okay, who is reliable, that meets the infant's needs for food, for care, for warmth, for protection, for stimulation and social contact. So this first caregiver that you have begins to teach you about relationship. All right. And in some cases, they teach you correctly. In other cases, they teach you incorrectly. If they leave you on the bed and let you holler, keep that diaper on, until you bump all up, don't feed you. All those things can hinder your desire for intimacy. I think maybe sometime this month I'm going to talk about some behaviors that kill intimacy. Okay, there are certain behaviors that once you start having an intimate relationship, there are certain things you can do to start shooting yourself in the foot. Okay. And so we're going to get around to that sooner or later, but not tonight. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Is it true that a person having been married by a certain age, therefore, they are more than likely want marriage? Talk about the first marriage. No, one of the things that with the way that the world is now flat, we have more opportunities of getting married than ever before. All right. And because of the cultural walls being removed, there are greater and greater opportunities for marriage. So I don't think that age is a factor. I think that it's up to you. It's up to the individual to learn. There are certain things that we can do to keep us from sealing the deal. I used to be a salesman, and I was very good at sealing the deal. And I worked with people, and I would teach them how to seal the deal, because some people didn't know how to seal the deal. All right. They'd do the presentation, but they didn't know how to close it. All right. And so I sometimes in relationships, we can say things or do things that would turn somebody off. You got to understand, they sung this song a long time ago that says, it's a thin line between love and hate. Well, actually what happens is when we begin to really begin to love somebody, we're also afraid at that time. At the very peak of my love, I'm also very afraid there as well. And so I can jump out the relationship just as quick as I can go ahead and say I do. Okay. And so learning how to navigate through that is very, very important. So having somebody to let you know that, no, that's just scary. That's just being afraid. It comes with the territory. When you get ready to get married, there's a lot of people that get ready to get married and then they decide they do something to shoot themselves in the foot, or they just cold feet. Okay. And you need somebody in your life, a friend, a counselor, that say, oh, they ain't nothing but cold feet. This lady one time asked me about should she marry this guy. And I said, she said, I just want to marry the right one. I said, well, how long you been knowing him? She said, I got 5 babies. I by him. I said, baby, he the right one. I don't know what took you this long. You got 5 babies by him. He might not just be the right one. He might be the only one. Just joking. Okay, here we go. All right. But we have individuals that will help us in our relationship. Okay, relationships again, they can be taught how to navigate through them. That's why the Bible said concerning the older women to teach the younger women. In other words, an old woman, an older lady who have made all the mistakes in life, when you get ready to make a mistake that she's already made, she can help you. Or her other daughter made it, or her cousin made it, and can keep you from making that same mistakes. I've made a ton of mistakes, and that's why I love working with young preachers, because I can say, hey, dog, don't do that. I was married for 26 years. I made a whole lot of mistakes in relationships, so I want to tell people, listen, you ain't got to make that one. Okay, now, some relationships are not destiny, okay? Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us. In other words, don't allow people to say, to control your life by saying that it is destiny, okay? But you have to work and navigate and walk through the relationship. Both of you have to compromise in order to make that relationship success. How do you not send mixed signals to someone who you really like, but you're not interested in him romantically? That's an excellent question. All right. Well, I think that, again, we start talking about communication and being honest. See, there's nothing wrong with being honest with my friend and say, listen, I enjoy you. You are going to be my friend forever. Okay. And be transparent with them. We can't play the game, and expect them not to be frustrated. Remember, frustration is unfulfilled expectation. So I've got to make sure that I'm honest with myself and then honest with my friend. No, man, this ain't never going to happen. Me and you are never going to be together like that. I want you to be my friend forever and ever and ever, but I don't see us having a romantic relationship. Okay. I think that sets you free and them free. The Bible, of course, tells us, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And the word also says, whom the Son has set free is free indeed. That word indeed means an attitude, action, and behavior. So when you are honest with your friend and say, listen, we're just going to be buddies, then there's a freedom and a liberty comes with you and with him, and it knocks it off. It removes the anxiety and the tension, and even the sexual tension is removed once I know or once she knows that, that we ain't never going to have that type of relationship. So I don't have to worry about getting in an awkward position where they try to, get up on me or me getting up on them, because they've already let me know that it ain't no happening, or I've let them know that already. Okay? A great question, Hatchet. Thanks for sharing that with us. Now, failed relationship happen for many reasons. A lot of us get into failed relationships, and they happen for a variety of different reasons. Okay, and it can cause a lot of us a great deal of anguish, of psychological anguish. Most people have to work conscious to master the skill necessary to make a relationship endure and flourish. I have to have a commitment. It's just like working out. You can work out, but you have to have a commitment to go work out. I gotta have a commitment to do my hair, to sweat, to make time for this weight loss. All these resolutions that we made in the beginning of January, most people have already stopped them by today. By this Friday, people have stopped their resolution, or they've gave up on it. Because it takes stick-to-itness. It's like Marvin Gaye. In every relationship, it's got to be like this. I want you, but I want you to want me too. So it has a commitment that we both must have for this friendship, for this romantic relationship, for this marriage, for this family union. Each one of us have got to have a commitment, or else it's not gonna last. Let me repeat what I said earlier, because I know I'm from down south, and every now and then that southern dialect kicks in. Failed relationships happen for many reasons. And the failure of a relationship is often the source of great anguish. All right. Most people have to work consciously to master the skills necessary to make a relationship endure and flourish. It's a skill set that you can develop in order to have a great relationship. You've got to be willing to work. You've got to be willing to invest in it. You've got to be willing to pay the price for it. Remember, anything worth having is worth working for. Anything is of value, it takes work, okay? If a guy gives you a paper ring, it has no value to you if he didn't work for it, if he didn't invest nothing in it. Well, your relationships are valuable when you invest in them. Okay? We invest time when I'm trying to figure out your mood. You must understand, I don't know your mood. I don't know you're moody. I don't know you're having hormone problems. I don't know you're on medication. I don't know you are going through a time of bereavement. And so I've got to yank and pull out information and share these information in order for me to know you, so I can respond correctly to you. 1 Peter 3:7, I must deal with my wife according to knowledge. I must deal with my husband according to knowledge. I must deal with my friendship according to knowledge. So I've got to gather information both intentionally and spontaneously, so I can correctly develop this relationship, so I can guard it, I can protect it, because I'm investing time, talent, money, emotion in this relationship. I want it to be successful. I want it to be lasting. I want this friendship to go places, so I'm willing to do what it takes to protect it. Okay? Okay, let's hit one last one here before again, I'm open to all kind of questions. Don is all the way from Florida. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you from Miami. Pastor Don, appreciate you being a part of us tonight. Hello, Brenda Malone. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Okay, now, when we start talking about finding love, here we go. Now, one of the things that happens is that we sometimes listen to people and they discourage us from love. And so therefore we don't open ourselves for love. Okay. It's like prophetically. Okay. In order to hear the voice of God, I have to have my antennas up to hear it. Now, if I cut my antennas off, then God is still speaking. I'm just not listening. Okay, so when it comes to love, I've got to be willing to open myself up to love again, to have a loving relationship. If I'm going to have some strong friendships, some new friendships, I've got to open myself up to the possibility of being friends with people that I don't know right now. Okay. So when we start talking about finding love, it's important to the first thing for me to have a mentality. I'm open up for love. I'm open for love right now. Finding a partner with whom to share a life with is a wonderful yet sometimes difficult process. It's wonderful yet difficult. Okay, I have had several houses and that I've sold, and when I get ready to sell it, I have to take it off the market. So when a buyer comes, I've got to see, all right, wait a minute, to take it off the market, is he a credible buyer? And so later on, I began to get individuals who were, what is the terminology you technical people out there, you real estate agents out there, pre-approved. Once I got pre-approved people, then I would take it off the market for those individuals who are pre-approved. Well, when it comes to relationships, thanks, Don, open myself up to individuals who have the ability to develop a relationship. There are some individuals that they don't have the emotional availability to have to become a life partner. Okay, they have too many grandbabies they got to raise up, or too many kids, or too much of a career. So they're off the market. They're emotionally unavailable. So I have to be honest with myself and with them if I'm going to find love. Am I emotionally available? Am I healed? Okay. Am I ready to take myself off the market? Good God Almighty! All right. Okay. Now, the desire is to do so may push people into an unfamiliar setting and encounter potential partners. So if I'm going to walls to protect, but they don't really protect. Right. I have to, if I'm going to put myself out there to find love, I've got to be willing then to, in some cases, put myself in uncomfortable situations. Okay. And so if I put myself in those uncomfortable situations, oh boy, there's anxiety there. Dating or setting up meetings in advance is a process which people spend time with another person in order to gradually determine whether the person is suitable as a potential mate. Okay, so all of that is uncomfortable. You know, when you were 17, nobody helped you with a date. Well, at 45 or 50, you might need a little help. Okay, and don't get upset when somebody tries to help you. Help from family, mother-in-law always standing in the way of a marriage or a relationship. Well, let me just say this. I think that in some cases, our in-laws or our family, they want to protect us. And in some cases, they are threatened by the new relationship. And I think that talking about these situations will really minimize the damage that they've done. If I'm seeing a young lady and her one of her people is trying to hinder our relationship, we got to talk about it. You know, we hit it head on. You know, and see whether or not this is realistic, or is it true, or is it a figment of her imagination or my imagination. So we have to determine whether or not this threat to our relationship is real or imagined. And then based on what we find out, we will determine our course of action after it. Okay. Now, there are some people, when I got married, there were several individuals that were like the Antichrist. They didn't want me to get married. Why? Because they were going to lose their boy. They're going to lose their friend. They're going to lose their a source of income and all those kinds of things. So people have different agendas to try to hinder your relationship. So you have to be mindful of that. Okay. It appears that men don't marry or commit to a relationship because of the women they have to choose from in the church compared to single women. I don't believe that. I mean, I think that men they gonna marry who they want to marry, whether they are at the church or in the club or on the job. You know, gonna marry who they want to marry, and I don't think that. I think they will commit to a relationship. I think that some churches have more men to choose from or more women to choose from as well. And that's why you can't limit yourself to just your local church. I don't think you should limit yourself to just your local church. That's one of the statements I said. One of the statements I said earlier, that the world is flat. Okay, and because the world is flat, then you can you can talk to a lot of different people. You can meet more people than your normal 7-mile radius that most people deal with. You definitely have to talk, and communication is key. Absolutely. I believe communication is so very, very vital in any relationship. You have to talk about it. You have to open yourself up to it. I mean, and then if you are a lot of times with men, let me just say this about men. Men suddenly will say, I want to be married. Well, once you find out that they want to be married, then they're now looking. They're on the hunt, and I think that suggestions will help relationships a lot. Okay, suggestions, not being pushy, but saying, "Oh man, listen, Sally really likes you." Because back in high school, remember all of us guys, a lot of girls we dated in high school, our friends told us, "Ooh, she like you." No, she don't. Yes, she do. For real. You joking, Or our sisters would tell us, Robert, man, Sally like it. Sally? You know how fine Sally is? For real? Would you set that up for me? Hook me up. So I think that we can help our brothers out by giving them a little inside information. Okay, well, I guess that's enough for tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you joining in with us. Let's see here. Okay, all right. Let me see if I try to see if anybody want to come on to with their one opinion before we go. Anybody? Okay, let's see. Shantae, you want to come on and point that you want to make, Shantae, concerning what we had tonight? Okay. What about you, Dawn, from Miami? You got your phone in a position to talk? Okay, all right. Well, I guess that's about it. Anybody got a last question or comment? They decline. I ain't mad at you. Okay. Okay, well, listen, I appreciate each and every last one of you. It is, I'm trying to bring somebody on, but nobody wants to come on and stand with the man of God. I so love relationship. And again, as you can tell, my style is more, next time, okay, I got you. My style, of course, is more a practical application with a biblical slant. On my post today, I said relationship tips with Bishop got his own special sauce, and my sauce, of course, is a biblical perspective with street sense. See, I believe that God saves us, and He does not take away our street sense that we have. And using common sense, the old people used to call, with biblical knowledge, will help us navigate through our relationship. Okay. Now, as always, listen. If this time has been a blessing to you, you can go to LifeCenterChurchMichigan.com and donate and help us out at the beginning of the year. You can honor God with the first fruit and give us a blessing, help us to do the ministry. I'm going to do NAPS this year, so I'm looking for sponsors already. I can't wait for the National Apostolic Prophetic School this October, so I want you to be all part of it. When should one start dating after a failed relationship? Well, excuse me. One of the things you need to say, and I'm going to wrap up with this one, when it comes to a failed relationship, it's like if your car don't start, you figure out what went wrong with it and get it fixed, and then you get back in the game. So if it failed, the relationship failed. It depends on how much damage was done, how long you were in it. Some relationships it failed because it was never meant to be, and it was we went on our first date, and he asked me to give him a ride home. And I knew I wasn't gonna see him no more after that. Or we went on a date, and she went to the bathroom, and I ain't see her no more. So so it all depends on what happened to it. It's like with the professional athletes, if a guy twists his ankle, he may sit out a game. If he blow out a knee, he may take him a year. So it depends on how long how much damage was done in the relationship. Okay, all right. Hey, listen, love you guys. Don't get lost in the sauce. God bless you. Father, I thank you for each and every individual that came up on the show tonight. I thank you for us having a relationship, first of all, with the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and then with one another. Lord, I thank you for walking us through this whole friendship, a relationship, helping us find love. Those that who want genuine love relationships, family love, romantic love, eros love. Lord, we thank you for helping us find and maintain love. Now, Lord, help us. Help us, Lord, with the skill of how to make our relationships strong. Help us will not be afraid of intimacy. Lord, I know even with you, some want to worship you from afar. Some want to worship in the outer courts. Some want to worship in the holy place. And some want to go into the most holy place. Lord, teach us how to have an intimate relationship with you and an intimate relationship with one another. Lord, teach us, Lord, how to express our love in a way that brings glory and brings honor to you. Father, we thank you for friendships that drive back loneliness. Lord, we don't have to be alone and lonely. We have friends who can give us a call. We have friends that can go to lunch with us. We have friends that can have projects with us. Father, we thank you for friendships that drives away anxiety, that comes and that touches and say everything is going to be all right. We have friends that helps us be healthy physically by walking with us, by encouraging us to take our medication, by encouraging us to be active in our minds and our souls and our spirits. Father, we thank you for healthy friendships. Now, Lord, help us attract the right people in our life. Help us to be a good influence in our friends. Help us be a great friend. Help us not to place our friendships before their principles so we can have strong relationships. Father, we thank you for we are being committed to the happiness of our friend. Now, Father, those that want to be married, let them open up to love. Those that want to be connected, let them connect in a way that would cause them to be lifelong friends. Lord, we'll be so careful to give your name the praise, to give your name the glory, and to give your name the honor. In Jesus' mighty name, amen and amen. Listen, I love you guys. I'm so happy to call you a friend. You are my friend. I'm your friend. And we're gonna have a greater friendship in 2019. I'm willing to invest in you. Are you willing to invest in me? I want you to know you've got a friend. Come on, sing that with me. When you're down and trouble. See you next time. You need some love. You need some love and care. Woo! Nothing. No. It's going right. I love this part. Hit this note with me. Come on. Ooh. Close your eyes and think of me. Woo! That's what a friend will be. Soon I'll be there to brighten up. That's what friends do. Even your darkest night. The DJ's gone. You just call up my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running. See ya! To see you again. What about if it's cold? Come on, Shauna. What about if it's cold? It don't matter. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All y'all do is call, and I'll be. Y'all didn't know I can hit that note. See ya. You got a friend.